Good evening. Thank you for being here with me. I wanted to give an update about a paranormal investigation I was invited to lead. A friend contacted me and said, "Hey, look, there's a friend of a friend who is experiencing haunting in their homes, and would I like to go and investigate what was going on?" Now, I am a alien contact specialist, uh, but I've spent my entire life researching all areas of the paranormal, the unknown. As early as the age of 18, when I started to get frequent sleep paralysis with spirits mostly coming to me and communicating with me. Since that age, I have been investigating ghosts, spirits with technology. I was at university at the time, and me and my friends in the physics and engineering departments of the university, we were constructing and rigging our own paranormal investigation, ghost detecting equipment, Ghostbusters style, to try and figure out what was going on. And over the years, I have hosted a number of paranormal investigations. I have gone to various locations where there have been hauntings to try and figure out what is going on. And I have gone specifically to haunted mansions and old cemeteries to try and connect with spirits there. So I realized that there was no other paranormal investigation options in the area of the friend of the friend of a friend to go and investigate, and I said, "Yeah, why not?" So it was a bit of a drive. It wasn't close to me at all. It was close to an Air Force base, which interested me because around Air Force bases, you tend to get often a uncommonly large amount of UFOs or UAPs. And very often, when you get alien activity, you also get paranormal activity, spiritual activity, ghost like activity around that. For example, that's something that happens at Skinwalker Ranch. That's probably one of the most well known examples of that. And there is a hitchhiker effect whereby if you are in that sort of environment, then entities, beings, ghosts can kind of follow you home. And so I was curious to know if this home, which is close to an Air Force base, had some kind of a hitchhiker effect going on, or if there was some kind of an alien presence. In any case, I said yes, and I went about 2 weeks ago for the first time to that location. I went with a another paranormal investigator to basically be my assistant. It's good sometimes to have a male and a female investigators go and visit a house. So we actually stayed there the night outside of the room, the bedroom, which was felt to be haunted. Now, the reason that they felt that this bedroom was haunted, this is the bedroom of a 3-year-old girl, and while the girl is sleeping downstairs and on baby monitors, the parents were hearing the shuffling, the movement of the girl's toys moving around on the floor at nighttime. And they would go up there to see what was going on, and the girl would be asleep and nobody visibly playing with the toys. Um, they would also sometimes hear footsteps walking around when the girl was asleep. So they were concerned about this. One of the other children, probably a teenage boy in the house, had seen uh, at some stage in the past a dark figure moving upstairs and sort of darting out of the way when the figure was seen. So there was definitely some interesting stuff going on there. And um, so I took all of my paranormal investigation equipment along, and I set it up in the bedroom. Uh, Thermal imaging cameras, night vision cameras. There's one that extends into the ultraviolet spectrum, or part of the spectrum. We set up ultraviolet lights, and I even took along a Geiger Muller tube, which detects radiation, because sometimes the entrance of beings into a location corresponds to an increase in radiation. And the girl herself, she's too young to really talk about her experiences, but she has been waking up in the night a lot, scared, and pretty much every night. So the parents were very concerned. For them, it was a very troubling situation, and they wanted to know what was going on and if I could help. So we managed to record, us two investigators managed to record probably about 12 hours of footage that we had to then wade through to see if anything showed up as being unusual. We didn't see anything like toys moving around. We didn't see any unusual thermal images coming into the screen. We did see the girl a couple of times sort of reaching up in her sleep and going like that, but there was nothing that we could see that was causing that to happen. I did take along my electric field uh, meters, so I have a tri-field meter, and there was, the first thing you do is look and see, are there any scientific explanations for what's going on? The girl's head, where she was sleeping, was right next to a wall, and in the wall there were electric wires, and the electric field was at about 60 volts per meter, which is about 10 times more than what is safe. So I did give that feedback to the parents, and they've since moved the bed. And in fact, when your head is put into strong electrical magnetic fields, it is possible to hallucinate. Um, I also think that having strong fields around your head can open yourself up to being able to connect with whatever spirits are there. So, it's not healthy to be in those fields. So the girl's bed was moved, but you can't really tell too much about whether that explains away the paranormal phenomenon or if it actually helps to explain the paranormal phenomena. In any case, we didn't seem to find anything of particular interest on that first visit, but one very odd thing did happen on that day. I called up in the morning just to confirm the details, that it was okay for me to go over there. And a few hours later, in the early afternoon, they received a call from me. I didn't pick up. I didn't talk to them when they received that call, so they called me back to see if everything was okay, and I hadn't called them. So when I checked their phone, in their phone logs, it shows my cell phone number calling them at a certain time in the afternoon, and in my phone logs, in my phone registry, there was no record of that having happened at all. So I was feeling that something odd is going on there. And so last night I went back. I went back by myself, but I had with me a number of people on Zoom who are psychics, mediums, basically members of my Patreon group, who wanted to uh, come in and assist me in a meditation. Excuse me. I just got through eating. Very large meal. That's probably not wise to do that just before I go live. But anyway, I I led a meditation in the home, and the mother of the child was there, and she meditated with me. She had never in her life meditated before, so this was a completely new experience for her. but I led the meditation and simultaneously leading the people in my Zoom meeting. And in the meditation, we relaxed our bodies, we tuned into our spirits, we reached out to any entities that were in the house. We filled ourselves with love and with light and with friendly intentions. You know, I've got a vision which is universal peace, universal love, universal well-being. Universal means everybody, and that includes spirits in the spirit realm. It even includes bad spirits. It includes any spirits that are haunting. So my intention was not to go in there and exorcise the child or expel any spirits from the home. My intention was to go in there with love and communicate with whoever was there and extend friendship to them. So that's what we did. And during that meditation, I sensed, I get this twitching of electromagnetic impulses causing my muscles to spasm when I'm in the presence of different beings. So I started to get that in my eyebrow, and I also saw in my vision, my psychic vision, a spiritual light, a consciousness moving to the right across the room towards the Christmas tree. And so that's what I saw. After the meeting, after the meditation, I asked the mother what she saw, not thinking she would have probably seen anything because this is the first time she's ever meditated. But what she saw very clearly was her father step up to her very close in front of her. And her father, oh no, is that a mosquito? No, it's just a gnat. If there's a mosquito, I would be trying to kill it right now, even though I'm live streaming. Sorry, universal peace and everything, but not to mosquitoes. I get bitten a lot by them and I don't like them. Sorry. Anyway, the mother saw her father, who has passed away, very clearly approach her. She was describing details of the father's face, like slightly balding head, goatee beard, and she felt this spirit, her father, take hold of her hands and hold her hands. She could feel him holding her hands. And as she was recounting this, she was tearing up because this is a profound thing. A parent who has died has showed themselves to you in a way that is very visible and tangible, and you can even feel them holding your hands. So for her, it was a very powerful experience, and she basically couldn't stop crying for all the rest of the time I was there. And the people in the Zoom meeting, they sent me their notes straight away, and what they perceived was a male spirit who was related to somebody in the family and who was guarding the child. And that seemed to fit completely. That was 100% consistent with what I had seen and with what the mother had seen. They also saw a bright spiritual light, which is what I saw. And they also described feeling like an energy as though there was like a wall of electricity. Now, I hadn't told them about my previous visit and the wall of electricity, the high electric field, but that was very interesting because they picked up on that too. And it was a very profound experience for everybody involved because there was confirmation, 2 or 3 lines of evidence that was confirmatory. And it also, as well as the father visiting, it also occurred to me that a possibility was that the father was doing this because he could see that it was not healthy for the girl to have her head where her head was, and that maybe his activity resulted in me going over there and discovering that and then moving the bed. And because that sort of those high sort of electromagnetic fields, they can cause health problems. And that girl, that 3-year-old girl, was sleeping in it for several hours every night. So the father's haunting resulted in something very positive for the girl. Um, so that's a little experience that I wanted to share with you. And when the spouse of the mother came down, they both were ended up in tears because they could see how powerful this situation was for everybody, how moving and emotional. So it was a beautiful ending. It was a transformation of something that was scary, possibly sinister, definitely troubling and unsettling, into something beautiful and loving, a loving connection with a, a passed away, deceased family member. So it was a beautiful experience and a happy result to that paranormal investigation. I kind of want to add to this. There are a lot of paranormal investigators out there, and a lot of them will go into a place and try and provoke the spirit into showing itself, not in a peaceful way, not in a communicative way, but in a sort of a poking way, like, You shouldn't be here. Show yourself. We demand that you show yourself." Going around trying to expel and cleanse the house and force out the spirit. And I just don't agree with that way of trying to connect with any conscious being in the universe at all, even if it is a negative entity. Um, you know, not every negative entity is completely negative, and if you actually talk to it in a friendly way, they might sort of go, "Oh, okay, I'm going to be I'm going to be friendly for a little bit then." So I definitely advise this whole universal peace, universal love, universal well-being approach to, well, everything in life. Um, well, thank you very much for listening. If anybody's interested in getting involved in any of my activities, then please do join my Patreon group, the Alien Contact Patreon group. There is a join for free button, big in the center of my uh, Patreon group, and you can join for free and then receive regular notifications of a whole range of different activities and Zoom meetings. Next time I go on a paranormal investigation, maybe you could come along and be part of the team that is involved in that meditation and connecting with spirits. So I haven't put it in the description for this video, but after I finish this video, within about 10 minutes, there will be a link up to the Patreon group in case anybody wants to join that. I hope you will have a good night, or if you're somewhere else in the world, a good afternoon or a good evening, or a good morning. Take care, everybody. Peace, love, and happiness to all of you. I look forward to seeing you again sometime. Goodbye for now.